Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Finally, again, our weekly gathering to see everyone together is always so joyful. Today's sharing is going to be quite, I hope, interesting. Yep. Because for the past week, Master have been talking about a lot on emptiness. So at the end, I'm not so sure what I should say because it's all empty and empty and empty. So so I kind of challenged myself to try something new because Master also said before that that truth is beyond words. In fact, these few days they've been talking about it. 言语道断. Once we use any words or any language or any kind of forms to try to express the truth is no longer the truth because it's already been limited. So so I'm going to try something new. I hope you might have already seen the difference. The first page, if you remember, our first page is always the Wondrous Lotus Sutra review, the date and who is sharing. So I transformed that page to this. Page 1, please. That yes, we are talking on the Wondrous Lotus Sutra, and on the that yes is me, small Joel, sharing. And then on this special day, besides it being the April Fool's Day, it's also a special day for Tzu Chi that I believe happened to find. That actually on 2012, 1st of April of 2012, that was when Sister Angela Mary actually came to the Jing Abode. Sixth time, the very sixth time that she actually came to the Abode, and it's a very special occasion where she's here to donate the intellectual property of her own memorial on Zibei, compassion and decision and determination. So on this memorial of this Sister Angela Mary, and why do we especially mention her? Because actually her mission is very similar to our very beloved Changren, because Sister Angela, she lives in Australia, and she has built her own hospital as well, called the St. Mary Hospital, and then how she has went through all the difficulties and all the determination in order to make this hospital one that has also changed their medical system, just like how our hospital has changed the system of paying the deposit before you're actually going to see the consultation. So in the same way, the Sister Angela Mary has also done that. And then they actually even have a Tzu Chi room in their St. Mary Hospital because of such connection between this Sister Angela Mary and Shangren. And I always feel that Master has very deep affinity with Catholic sisters, Catholic nuns, because because at the very how Tzu Chi actually began is also because of Catholic nuns. The three Catholic nuns actually come to see Master, and they ask, Buddhism is so good. Why do we not see Buddhism hospital, or so on and so forth? And that's how we actually have Tzu Chi today. So I mentioned it today as the day, 1st April, but it was on 2012. But on this day, there's today's sharing. So I'm not going to use any word for today's sharing. There's not going to be any word, so let's try that out. Okay, page 2. Page 2. So for this whole week, I don't know, maybe many of us will be something like this, kong, 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 knocking our heads, and then it's just all empty, and then we don't know what I'm saying. And then how do we say? How do we actually understand all this emptiness? And why is it that emptiness is actually the second place of close association that the Buddha is leading us to? So let's quickly do a very quick review on page 3. I'm going to use pictures also to depict what the Lotus Sutra has been talking about up till now. So page, so those controlling the PPT, you might need to follow me a little more. So click one more time, you will see a gray circle. I use this to represent how the introduction of the Lotus Sutra was. That was when the Buddha actually shone this white light from his eyebrow, and then he shared the whole Buddha's mindset and the Buddhahood, the kind of so serene, so beautiful, so universal, and so huge, so clean and pure that no one really understands. And then and that's how Lotus Sutra actually began. And then it is from here, if you could click one more time, that Shariputra came forward, seeing this whole scene, and he felt that, wow, it's so wondrous that the Buddha must be wanting to share something. Of course, in between there's the Bodhisattva Manjushri and Bodhisattva Maitreya, the communication. But then there was the Shariputra came forward, being the one that was touched by all the situation and asked on behalf of everyone, Buddha, please share the Lotus Sutra for 3 times. And then if you click one more time, that's when we have, you know, so on and so forth, many more people that come forward, the four of the top disciples. And then if you click one more time, more and more people learn and unlearn it. And if you click one more time, even more, when in the very future, even to the future, as long as anyone is willing to uphold the Lotus Sutra, they all receive the prediction of Buddhahood. That all is included in this Buddha's mind, that we all have this Buddha nature. If you click one more time, is when we see the emergence of the treasure tower, so huge, so big, and so wondrous, so tall that it exceeds our screen, so big and so that we all actually have this tower in our mind, in our heart. And then how this actually leads to the deepest doubt that we all have, how the Devadatta actually can reach Buddhahood. If you click one more time, you'll see this one very big black circle that everyone thought that it's impossible that a person like Devadatta with such an evil mind can actually reach Buddhahood. But that's when Buddha shared that actually we all have the kind of the gem, the gem, and then how the dragon maiden showed the gem, the dragon's ball to the Buddha, and how Buddha accepted so quickly that actually within this appearance that seems like this person is evil and so on and so forth, this black and so on and so forth, actually deep within we all have this Buddha nature. And then from here, how we go on to chapter 13, that is encouraging devotion. If you click one more time, the big whole arrow trying to point towards that circle, that Buddha nature within. But you see this arrow going from brightness that, oh, we all made these very big vows, but then we are going to enter this world of the evil age, the evil era. It's so unsure and so whether can we do it, or whether should we do it, or maybe I should go to the other world. And it's in the encouraging devotion we see the Bodhisattva, although making great vows, but they all vow to go to other worlds. And how other great Bodhisattvas came forward to make the vow to Buddha that we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here. And then so that's when we reach chapter 14. If you click one more time, that actually showed us the way, the path, the peaceful practices, how we should be guided, how we should walk towards this Buddha nature that we have in the evil era of the future. How so it's like the guiding lines for us. What we should associate with, what we should not associate with, some of the guideline for us to follow so that we don't go astray. So I use this kind of to try to depict, to go towards. So we are here, chapter 14, roughly here. The rest I didn't draw anymore. So yep, we are here. And then on page 4, we are at this position of the chapter 14. And you see that we are actually at the very end. In fact, today, I think it began on the that I used all the small blocks to represent that the poem-like section of this chapter, where the Buddha is going to repeat what he has said before in order to drive the whole idea into our mind. So we're roughly here. We're now roughly here, and then we are, of course, and again to remind everyone that we are now 18 days into this chapter. So let's quickly catch up into our progress. So for this chapter 14 on peaceful practices, page 5, please. We've been talking about how do we walk this path. And then Buddha says that there are 4 different areas that we should take note of. That includes the body, the mouth, the things we say, the mind, and the vow. Would you please click one more time? So there's the 4 things, the 4 arrows: the body, the mind, the mouth, and where we should go to, the arrow. Okay, so And so, and then Buddha go on to say that for the area of the body, there are two things to know of. Two, with regard to what we should be have close association with. So there are two of them. And the first one we have shared last week are the list of the 10 different kinds, or roughly 10 different kinds of people or situation that we should refrain ourselves from in order not to affect our own vow and the path we are walking on. So if go on page 6, that's number 1 of these two that we are talking about. And last week, we just quickly do a review. So last week, on this first area that we should not have close association with. Page 7, please. So as we are walking towards, as we have made this vow, this big vow, it's like this beautiful scene going towards the sun. We made this great vow that we want to go towards it. But of course, it's going to be difficult. And so who might lead us astray from this path? So there are a few groups, kind of people. We've been talking about it. If you click one more time, we've been talking about the rulers, the politicians, or the ministers, and so on and so forth, people of power. We should be careful of, because these are the kind of people that might lead us to more arrogance, higher fame, and at some point of time, it's going to make us fall down very, very deeply. So just like it's true, and then we're going to go right down. So this is the first time you have to be careful of. And then the second kind, the non-Buddhist or the unwholesome literatures, that's going to looks beautiful and looks following all our desires, looks all beautiful outside, the yellow things, all beautiful, but it's going to lead us astray to somewhere else. And so we need to be very careful of this group of people. And then the third, if you click one more time, is the lokayatas or the anti-lokayatas, which from what I understand is really all these quarrels and complaints, all these discussions on the topics that are really not so important, on all this following the human desire, quarreling on these kind of things that are really not on this path. So like this. And then if you click one more time, there's also the evil activities. For example, the hunters, our livestock breeders, and so on, and all kinds of occupation, or all kinds of work that are actually not good, which actually lead us directly opposite from our vow. So of course, these kinds we have to be careful of. And then if you click one more time, there's also the voice hearers or the small vehicle practitioners that we should be careful of, because he made us just stop there and then thinking that we are already there and we are there, and then we don't go forward anymore in our vow, in our direction. Okay, and then we also have the young girls, married women, as in basically people of the other gender that is going to lead us because of our desire, and also children that not because they are children, but because the playful mind. Even now, adults nowadays, they also play. Nowadays we also see a lot of adults, parents, they are also playing the phone games, and it's just weird. But these kind of people, this kind of playful mind is what we should be careful of, because it's going to lead us downwards, and then we are not going to continue with our path. So these are the kinds of groups of people that we should be careful of, and that if you click one more time, we really hope that to reframe or to check our minds, and then that all these distractions not be affecting us, not because we are going to reject them. We still encompass in our mind all these people, and because they are also have Buddha nature. It's just that it's only because we are not firm yet in our vow. If we are firm in our vow, by all means, go ahead. But it's just because we are all new into this path, and vow not so firm yet, and we might very easily be led astray. So that's why we need to reframe ourselves in order to go towards our vows. So that's a very quick review. And then after that, the second association that we to go to is the truth, the emptiness. You might be searching and then trying to click many times. It's a lot of empty slides. You might have to click 4 times. So what I want to say is, it's a lot of going back to this whole emptiness thing, and then this truth that actually you have to let go of all these attachments, and then to go to the DEE, the very first principle, that is no attachment. There's no form, there's no appearance, that there's no birth, no death, no evil, no goodness. Actually, if you look with the Buddha's eye, everything is just an accumulation and affinity coming together, and then there is. And when the affinity disappears, then it goes. Okay, all these are just words. That doesn't really mean anything. That's why all emptiness and don't really understand. So let me try to explain what I understand. So if you have to go to page 14 already, and then you'll see a picture, and then you can go on to 15 and 16 and 17. These are photos that I have taken. Many years ago already in Taiwan, and then but they're beautiful. I hope so. I hope it's beautiful. Page 16 too, in page 17 too. They are beautiful photos. These are kind of photos that make you go wow. But after which, nothing much. They're beautiful, but they didn't really say something or say anything. Just beautiful. So what is missing? What is missing? If you go to page 18, page 18 is a photo that I've taken in Singapore during our Buddha bathing ceremony. Do you notice that the main character in this photo, there are actually 3 persons bowing to the Buddha, including mother, the children, and the kid still in her stomach. There's 3 persons paying respect to the Buddha. And then if I ask, what is the mother trying to communicate with her son? She didn't say anything, I think. It's the look towards her son, the son looking up to her. Suddenly, I don't know how to describe this, but the kind of connection between our parents and us, and then us with the whole Buddha nature, and then all together, it's just so hard to describe. And exactly, because it's just so hard to describe, no words can describe. No words. You can only, if you want to say, oh, it's a mother with the womb, still a children in the womb, and then looking at the child, but it's all forms. What is really happening is really beyond words. If you go on to the next page, page 19, this is again also that Buddha bathing ceremony, and this is the indoor section where we are going to host all the venerables. And before it becomes the reception of for the venerables, it was just table tennis court, and then not table tennis, sorry, badminton court. And then you just see all this, and you see, when I take this photo, it just reminds me of the time when Master Sangren goes to see the land for her hospital, going to 10 different lands trying to find one, and then looking at the empty land with grass and cows still moving, and then imagining there will be a hospital over there. I think in the same way, this is a badminton court that will later on, if we go to next page, page 20, they will become a reception. And how is it possible in a sense? I mean, all these are just, to us, it's just simple. But let's look at it in a different way. For example, if this stadium was piled with rubbish and piled with, or become a storage place, piled with things, can you make it into something else? It will be difficult. We have to clear all the things first, and then wipe all the things clean, and then so on and so forth. Do all this cleaning first before we can actually do anything. And in fact, the same way, that is our heart is. If our heart is piled with all these attachments and piled with all these worries and afflictions, there's like all these rubbish and garbage and storage things that are placed in the mind that we do not let go. Then we don't have the space. We do not have the space to make different kind of things, to do all the different kind of things. When it's an empty space, it also means it can become anything. It can become a reception. It can become a badminton court. It can become our books, our Jing book exhibition. You can become anything. So that's wondrous existence in a sense, I think. So emptiness is actually infinite possibilities. In the same way, when you can go back to the empty nature, that also means you become so flexible that nothing is actually blocking you. There's no hindrance at all. If you go on to page 21, or this is just a photo of me and my younger brother and my mother during the Buddha bathing ceremony. Well, now that I'm here in the boat, of course, sometimes I also miss my mom. But the kind of connection, again, is something very difficult to describe. If you want to describe our connection with our own parents, well, I guess, I don't know, it's going to take a whole lifetime, because our connection with our parents is whole lifetime plus 10 months that we cannot even describe because we are not born yet, but the 10 months in the womb, that's our connection with our parents, but we cannot even describe it. But is it, when we cannot describe, does it mean that it's not existence? It's still there, it's just beyond words. So words cannot describe things that are so subtle and so, in fact, everything. No words can describe. If we go on towards page 22, we see all our volunteers, all the neatness, all the 庄严, you know, all the how we make all the place solemn and beautiful, and then all neatly. And then when we enter the place, we feel very joyful and feel very calm. All this is because all our brothers and sisters behind the scene, like you and I, we all the small actions all coming together. So all forms, all the beautiful appearance, all the serene, all the solemn, is actually from the heart. All forms are from the heart. Without the heart, all these forms has no meaning. I think you can have very nearly, you know, done things if it's by machine, then it just felt so different, right? Page 23. Again, this kind of neatness is all from the heart. It's all volunteers one by one doing all this, and then that's why it touches the heart. Page 24. You see this? I don't know what you noticed first, but when I took this photo, what I noticed was the two kids. I mean, kids nowadays, they actually stood there for, I don't know, at least 20 minutes through the Buddha bathing ceremony because they want to see. I don't know, I guess that this was in 2013, and I was very amazed because during that time, I took a lot of photos of kids. They are so sincere and pious during the Buddha bathing ceremony. And after that, 2014 and after in 2015 onwards, when I go to the Buddha bathing ceremony, I no longer can find this kind of scene. You know, we can have parents so sincere, but the kids are just sitting there, you know, playing their own phones and games. And I very seldom see this kind of scene anymore. The kids, that urge to want to have a close association with Dharma and the whole atmosphere. You know, when you see this, you just find that it's hope. It's some hope. And yeah, again, it's an amazing thing that you cannot really describe. You know, and when I want to describe it, I would have to use some wording or description. You know, the kind of, you know, standing there using solemn, you know, sincere, pious. All these are words trying to describe what they are doing. You know, we say that closing palm standing there is sincere and pious. And what is sincere and pious? Sincere and pious is showed by this photo. And what is photo? This photo shows sincere and pious. It's a circle that one is just the other. So which just means that it's just names, fake names, to try to describe something that we cannot describe. So we use names. So we use words to try to describe something that actually we cannot describe. So yeah, that's what it means by fake names, I think. Page 25. Page 25 again is a photo. I named this photo accompaniment. This is in our the Tzu youth the lab classes, and how our volunteers, our university students, our youth accompany these secondary school youths. You know, although you may be you know, don't wanting to follow rules with your trousers so high, and then and don't want to do the homework and so on and so forth. Don't want to take the photo. Actually, he's blocking from me. But but I will be there, as in what the lady there, I think, was thinking. No matter who you are, no matter what you're doing now, I'm going to just accompany you, and then and forever, until you also become a Buddha too. I named this accompaniment, but again, this name accompaniment is only to describe this picture. The word accompaniment itself is just a fake name too, because you cannot really describe this too. Next, page 26. I don't know what you see in this photo, but when I took this, what I'm thinking of is precept. Precept. I actually see the ragas, the putuan in front. You see all the dance and everything. It just looks like all the desires, all the afflictions in the mind. But because we have all our brothers and sisters on the same path, guiding us along, all the neatness, because we are in this Tsuchi world all together, that all the disciplines, all the training, it's like these putuans aligning that actually help us to contain our afflictions, our desires in our own hearts, so that as our bodies follows everyone's pace, follows everyone's routine and disciplines, it helps us control ourselves, and then give us time to not do the bad things, and give us time to calm down our desires in our heart. It traps our desires in our own hearts, so that we don't do the karma, and then have the time to control ourselves. I think that's precept, and that's why we need to be in the crowd, to be with all our brothers and sisters, because they are there to guide us along, to accompany us in all this precept and discipline, to help us change ourselves. Page 27 is 3 consecutive photos. You see, actually, this pair of sister and brother are very famous in Singapore. They are Pan Shi Xiong Mei. The two of them got this disease that they will have a very serious jerk, or the kind of nerval discharge. They will make them feel very, very painful, and so on, and then, but because of all the, but let's look at these photos first. When they come to the scene of the Buddha bathing ceremony, our sisters so joyfully welcoming, wow, you're here again, and then 1, 2, 3, 3 consecutive photos, how they smile so bigly. If you go on to the next one, page 28, you see the connection between our sister, and then these two of them smiling so happily, and then the mother behind. Actually, the mother was the one looking at the daughter, that we cannot see the face, and then the father was the one at the back. So when you see this joyful moment, could you ever describe what has gone through, what they have gone through? For a long time, these two kids, they have actually been normal, but when from on 2004, that's already 13 years before. 13 years before, Tsuchi volunteers saw their story on the news, and then thinking of how we can help them. And at that time, this daughter she's called Ziqi. She was so painful, and then when the syndrome, when that thing came, it's so painful, and then every day they cannot even sleep, and they have to be locked on their bed. If you go on to next page 29, this was them before. They have to be locked and chained onto their own bed, because they'll just move and they'll hit themselves. And Ziqi, the daughter, once said, she said, "Mother, could you please throw me down on the floor, because I want to die." It's the kind of pain that she's been suffering for so long. She wants to ask the mother to throw her down. The stories. Could you imagine from the photo just now? If you go on to the next page 30, go back to the photo just now. Could you imagine what they have gone through? Could you imagine what the volunteers have for the past such a long time accompanying them, bring them actually to Taiwan to have the chip inserted in the brain, and then now they can actually control themselves very well already, and they are now actually studying in the school too. All the process, I think it's just impossible to try to describe. If you want to really describe, it's just impossible. So I think all the way up to now, I think we have shared a different aspects of the whole idea of emptiness that you actually really couldn't describe with words, but it also have the kind of no hindrance, the kind of infinite possibilities, the kind of no worries in the heart, clear of afflictions. It's all, I think, parts and parcel of this whole idea of emptiness that actually forms, I think, one of the deepest root of Buddhism, and also what Master is leading us to. Although she actually, I think, before this week, for a long time, she has never talked about emptiness until such a depth. In fact, for a whole sermon talking only on emptiness, I think she has never done that before. She always emptiness, and very quickly she'll change the people. But there is also wondrous existence, miao you, and then we'll ask us, no, we should, no, don't just think of emptiness, but also go into the crowd to do good things. Because if I try to think on Master's shoes, if she began talking about emptiness first, then we are going to just stay in our habits of doing nothing, and then thinking that we are already there, or we already reached the idea of emptiness. No, we are already no affliction, so we are not going to go to the crowd. This is the same idea of the small vehicle. That, no, we are going to just practice ourselves, our mind very clear, and then we are not going to have the big vow to go into the crowd again. So Master is leading us on the path to bring us to go into the crowd first, to have the great vows, just like in chapter 13. It's the Bodhisattvas make the great vows first, and then the Buddha says that you should go into emptiness. So you actually need to walk on the path first. You have to, because we need to change our habits. We need to change our habits, our nature, the Fanfu, the normal, ordinary beings kind of mindset. We need to change that, and in order to change that, we need tools to help us. So tools like the three lossless practices, the 戒定慧, our precepts, the samadhi and wisdom, is actually ways to help us. We use precept first to control ourselves, because we need precept because we easily cross the line. So we need to bring ourselves back. When we cross the line, we bring ourselves back. When we cross the line, we bring ourselves back. That's precepts. But when you are able to stay over here all the time, then this precept is no longer needed. And that's when we actually need, when we reach the state of Ting, of Samadhi, where we are here and we are always here. And when we are always here, that is actually true freedom. And that's when we have wisdom. I think that this is how I understand it now. And there's also one line of what Confucius has said before. He's been saying that from 15 years old, how she knows about the path, and then how 30 years he walks the path, and then 40 years, 50 years, 60 years old, and how he finally reached 70 years old. What he says is that 随心所欲而不逾矩, that he can now follow his own desires, but at the same time, it's all within the precepts, all within the principles. That's what I mean by true freedom. I think freedom is not just going anywhere, just going to anywhere and just and then do all the bad things, and then thinking that there's no retributions, thinking that there's no retributions of doing evil things because it's all empty. I think it's not in that way. Emptiness is in that once we are on the right path, when we have reached the path of Bodhisattva, when we have reached the stage of Buddha, we have to let go of all the tools that has been helping us. That actually all these tools was just there to bring us here, but let's not make the precept become something that's that when we, in fact, when we follow the principles, the precepts to us are just normal. They are not precepts anymore, because we are already following the path, and then It's not disturbing us anymore. And that's when we have already reached the stage of emptiness. And also what Master Sato said before, forbearance. Forbearance with no feeling of forbearance. That's true forbearance. When you actually don't need to control yourself anymore. That's true freedom, I think. So last page, page 31. I'm sorry, I need to use a few words because we still need some forms to help us. So I only have this page to have for you in order to summarize what we have gone through just now. So true emptiness, I think, very is equals to infinite possibilities. And then forms is what we use to describe with names. But actually truth is beyond names, is beyond words. But we need these names, we need these, we still need to look, we still need to read the sutra, we still need to listen to master teaching to us because we are not there yet. So we need these tools to read, but knowing that these are just tools, knowing that these are to help us and not be attached to the words that, oh, Buddha says that no, we cannot we cannot go close to women, so we do not go close to women. It's not that. Okay, we do not attach to the wordings, but we need to understand the truth behind that is actually behind these wordings. The wording is just like a hand pointing towards the moon, but it's not the moon itself. So don't look at the words only. We need to read the truth. And then third, empty nature. To reach the nature of emptiness, our hearts in an empty nature, Master says, 付出无所求, to give without asking anything from return. That is an empty nature. And when we are able to do that, we will have no hindrance. In fact, it's all because we give without asking anything for return. We can go to, for example, North Korea. We can go to different places of different political situation or different religion, and all differences. It's no boundary to it. It's no borders to us. It's no hindrance. It's all because we can give without asking anything for return. And that's the empty nature, I think, when it's applied in our daily actions. So what Master is leading us is one of the deepest truth put into action. And we need to have the kind of faith that our shamans really, we have followed one of the greatest guiding person in our life. So let's seize all our moments to follow. But at the same time, if you click one more time, even all these words, please let go of them too. It's going to fade away because it's not the truth itself. So go back to the emptiness, go back to our true nature, and then just do it. Just do it. Don't think so much. Do the right thing and then just do it. That's it. So simple. Okay. Page 33. Thank you so much. This is my sharing for today. Buddha's heart as our hearts. Master's mission as our mission. Thank you so much. Can end. Can end.
God, Brother Yoking. Let's just hear from the sharing from Sister Pujong side, Sister Tammy and Sister Chin Si. And Sister Tammy, please take over. Kan.
Yes, good morning, brother and sister. Today I would like to share. Before listening to Sing Pa Xiang, I was like floating in the sea of suffering. After listening to Sing Pa Xiang, I realized that Lotus Sutra is a medicine that can cure all the problems of the world. By upholding precepts, be mindful with what we speak, what we do, and what we think, and get rid of our bad habits and desires. Our life will become simpler and happier. At the same time, by cutting down desire, will ease the burden of our Mother Earth. When we go among people to serve, our mind will be calm and clear. Hope that more people will know the benefit of Sing Pa Xiang and walking the path of Buddhist sadhana, and it will bring happiness and peace
thank you for Sister Qingxi for sharing. Good morning, brother, sister, and good morning to Zheng Sifu. I'm Tammy here. I would like to share the benefit of attending live stream Faxiang. I wasn't an early bird person, and what inspired me to attend Master live stream Faxiang was because after I knew Master only slept for 3 to 4 hours daily. So if I wanted to be a Siji disciple or Master disciple, I think I must show my profound gratitude to Master to attend the live stream Faxiang beside doing the Siji activity to accumulate blessings. So at the same time, we also need to increase our wisdom life. So here I vow to attend live stream Faxiang. Although I wasn't truly understand the Mandarin and also Tainan, but I feel grateful also if I can understand a few words or one life principle daily and apply the Dharma in my daily life. Secondly, my initial objective to join Siji sharing was to cultivate patience and to eliminate my hot temper. I always told my friends that I have a hot temper, but they don't believe me because my hot temper only can be shown to my immediate family. Okay. Through attending the live stream Faxiang, it really increased my level of compassion and tolerance when dealing with people and also issue amongst volunteer or the people in the office. So I vow to quickly eradicate all my habitual tendency in this life through spiritual cultivation under the great teaching of Master Cheng Yen. Third point is it really increased my faith and belief of Buddha teaching. I repented for all the wrongdoings done through my body, words and thoughts since I born, and now I vow to diligently walk this Bodhisattva path without turning back to my last breath. And lastly, through live stream Faxiang, it really increased my confidence to make vows. Previously, I did not make any vows, but after I've made some clarification during the English Dhamma talk. So it gave me more understanding of the meaning of making vows. So after making vows, the most important thing is we have to put it into action. So here I vow to try my best, my level best to realize all my vows through action instead of just empty words. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the sisters for the sharing. Sister Suching, are there any more? Or are there any sentences you'd like to share?
That's it, Brother Yoping. Cảm ơn Chung.
Canon, thank you so much, the sisters, for the sharing and making all these great vows. We are all here to witness. And then I think this chapter is dedicated for you. After making vows, these peaceful practices is really like a guidebook for all of us to follow. So thank you. And then we are glad we are all in here. Okay. Okay. So we are going to go on to the offline questions. So we are going to invite Master Huang Sifu to first answer for us. The slide that I've given actually also have the questions in it if you need it, so you don't have to switch at the end of the slides just now.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Just now, the sisters been sharing and joining the Xun Faxiang, gain a lot of wisdom. I think it's the same like for this year, as we know the couple for this year, our master gives us to create blessing and to nurture our wisdom. So master said create blessing is we never underestimate the small good deeds. And it's just like the passage is saying every grain of rice deliver external love. And The second is we need to nurture our wisdom by listening to the Dharma talks, accumulating our wisdom, and we cultivating diligently. So I think this is the second passage. Master's been saying each tiny particle holds life truth. I think this is quite very match to the topic that just now Brother Yuping has mentioned, emptiness. I think this is quite a match for our year. This year, the couple, the meaning. So because the Master say the tiny particles, just like she take it as a metaphor for life too. For example, the small tiny particle can be a small seed. When we see a large tree with a stout trunk, it's original from a seed, a small seed. So Master say if we split the seed in half, we won't find a tree inside. The principle of life that allows the tree to grow is invisible in the seed. So I think this is a little bit, I would like to give my understanding about what is called emptiness, but it's true, infinite possibility. This is what I can understand. So now I'll be back to the question 1. There's someone saying sometimes when we interpret Master Dharma, and some of us may have some different meaning. So in such situation, how can we become aware of it? So I think for my personal view, I think it's due to the Vounteers, the different level of understanding the Master teaching. So if for my personal thing is, if the interpret of the Master teaching doesn't deviate the truth principles, I think should be accepted. So for my explanation, for example, how can I say it's like, because we take the rice, for example. Some people may say one kind of rice fits 100 kinds of people. 一种米养百种人. So I think as there are so many different kind of peoples, they have different kind of variable of eating. Some they will eat according to they like porridge, or they like to fry rice, or they might do some other small little things like a dessert or whatever. So I think it's just like when Master say one Dharma, so it can be infinite meaning to explain to everyone to get understand. So and for the Master teaching, if we can quickly understand the profound principle for those who can quickly understand the principle of the Master's teaching, and they can share with others. So I think that can be like a great capability, because they explain in a very direct and sharp understanding. But for some others who receive gradual teaching, we may call we are limited capabilities. So we are new learning. We just newcome to join, and so our knowledge is still still very low. So maybe our explanation for the Master teaching maybe not that much in clear. So I think it depends, because we all have different capabilities. So I remember on the chapter 5, the parable of the medicinal herbs, as we mentioned, the Dharma rain is given to all equally, rising all on the mountains, rivers, and land. Thus, all things are equally moistened, and like Dharma is just like water, and it's accepting the Dharma. Those with great capabilities, the capacity that it would take is the large amount. But for those who are limited capabilities, the capacity of the water they receive, of course, definitely will be less amount. So it depends how we want to, how can we accept, how much we can accept for our understanding. So I think this is my answer, because I think just a kind of an analogy I want to share by using the rice and the Dharma rain to explain and to give this answer. So now we back to the question 3. I answer the number 3 question. So also as they saying, someone say she believed in karma and retribution, but when they explain this karma and retribution to the friends, and some of might have a doubt about we don't know our next life or previous what we have done. So how can we accept the karma or retribution in this way by saying if you do good deed, I can have a better life or whatever. So I think actually for I would like to say I don't have we ordinary beings, we don't have the magical power to foresee or to predict that what I do this present time and for my future, I can be a prince or princess, or I can have a successful businessman. You can foresee our future life. But I can say we must have a deep faith on this. As the master always mentioned, we must have a belief that sentient beings bring karma with them, and we will receive the retribution in accordance what the cause and effective we have done in our life now. So, for example, our Tsuji, for the 52 years ago, 51 years ago, we have started up the charitable work by helping the poor, and we inspire the rich person to give help for those who need. But nowadays is totally have a little bit different, because we also are able to guide the poor to give those who suffer more than them, and not only just can the rich person can give help to the hardship person. So another story that I would like to share is just like example, when we go on for the relief mission overseas or locally. So definitely our Tsuji volunteer will share to the victims or the disaster affected about what is Tsuji and how we get the money and how we get a donation to provide such supplies. And the first is suppliers or the food. And of course, we may explain to them about our coin bank program or the bamboo bank program, 竹筒岁月. I think we will share to them. By pulling together everyone's small donation, and we can help people in need, like in Philippines or in Myanmar. So we take the poor farmer in Myanmar, for example. So because the poor farmers, they save a handful of rice to a jug, and monthly they pulling together the small jug of rice and become several sacks of rice to help those families who need this food. So I think just like for the poor farmer, they are poor enough, but because they change their life after they meet our Tsuji volunteer, they transform their fate. Because they do good things, they start to action. They're not after the listening to the volunteers what is coin bank program, but they don't have the money to save. But in terms that of the money, they use rice to help people. I think it's just like the meaning from the program. The idea is from master. We save money to help the poor, but for Myanmar, the poor farmer, they don't have money, but they get the meaning. We need to save a little bit what we have, and we help people. So they, in terms of the money, the coins, they save the rice. So I think the truth principle doesn't divide. It's still the same. Money can buy rice, and rice can fulfill my stuff, my hungry. So I think the meaning doesn't divide. So it's okay. And of course, they also can change life. So I can say the past time, in the past, they are poor, but now because they are rich in heart and they also can help people, they change, they start to have a better, they feel like they're still lucky than those who are poorer than them. So I think this is the before and present they meet Suji and in the future life, and they become a rich person in their heart. So I think this is the karma and the retribution for my understanding and for my answer for this question. I hope that you all can understand. So now I pass it to my people who answer the question 2 and the question 4. Thank you, Mito, for.
Morning, brothers and sisters. This is Jing. So I'm going to share the number 4. So this question, all these first 3 questions are the previous week. Then the question 2 is new one. Then will be answered by the Master Xi. So the question 4, how to avoid becoming fearful and paranoid at every moment after contemplating the impermanence of life. So after we discuss, so there are probably different concerns that what you fear about. So we will say maybe you feel the impermanent about to lose materials or to lose family or your own life. So from the material wise, either actually like impermanent. So the material will not be last forever. So either we lose it or the material is going to decay by itself. So I think the way to conquer the fearness is we should keep practicing the give. So once you kind of already be a habit to give what you have extra to people, then you will detach your mind that want to hold everything you own forever. Then you will not have this kind of worry about to lose it. And from the field of impermanence of your family or your own life, we know that actually life is a cycle. So death is the beginning of your birth. So life kind of is never real dead. So it's just another starting of another cycle of your life. But what we should worry about is what kind of next life you're going to face it. So either will be a better life or will be a worse life. It depends on yourself, because like Master already told us, the drama you will play is you write your own. So what the next drama I'm going to face is what we are writing now. So whether it will be good drama or bad drama, you need to be careful now, not just worry about it. So we should, practicing, since we are already cultivated in this Buddhism, so we should take action and really put into practice every day. Then just keep accumulating our good deeds and to eliminate all those affliction and those bad karma. So well, from this because this question, so like 2 weeks ago, when I searched on the web, and then I read the story for our own brother Cai Jinghong in United States. So he has a poor life since young. But after he grew up, then he made very successful business, then become very rich. Then he start enjoying so-called enjoying the life. So he eat a lot of so-called good dishes, which means have many lives in the dish. So until I think he's 29, age of 29, he's going to kind of engage with the fiance. He came back to Taiwan, but got illness and diagnosis as the urine cancer, carcinoma. So that's kind of just, a big shock, or just like everything has no hope for him. So when in his illness, he kind of reflect himself. He say during the illness, he prayed daily, hope there's a miracle happen, then his life can be saved, all this painful can be eliminated. But he reflect when he eating those good so-called good dishes. So before that become the dish, those animals, the life is being threatened and being killed. So in their life, they also praying to have miracles show up and their life can be saved. So by thinking of this, he kind of vowed himself he will not take damage or make threat to the sentient being life again. So in his illness, he, instead of just fear about this impermanent, he's going to lose his life, then he made two vows. One is from now on, he will become vegetarian forever, will not kill sentient beings' life anymore. And the second vow is he will follow the Guanyin Bodhisattva's steps. He will walk on the Bodhisattva path all over his life by life. So instead of just feel, so he keep practicing this good karma to accumulate his good karma. I think he kind of got recovered. So right now he's kind of healthy in United States and put on his effort in the volunteer work daily. So this is a good example of this situation. Instead of fear, he just conquered this fear, then just take action to conquer his fear and put into practice to accumulate your own good deeds, your virtue. Then I think the impermanent is not that terrible. It's just kind of for your daily work to practice to face it. Then I think we should just, after learning the daily from masters, don't listen, then just put really diligent on our practice. Then we should daily kind of be more comfortable about our practicing. Thank you. This is all my sharing.
Thank you so much. And is there a time with them? Shall we luckily have? Let's take a little bit time, a few more time. Yeah, we clear off this last question by Master Xi Sifu.
其实看得到吗？ Okay. Good morning, brothers and sisters. I'm Dercy. Okay, I'll answer question number 2. Why must we listen to losses draw at such early hours? Can we try to gain wisdom via other methods? Well, I suppose what you mean by other methods are by reading master books or watching Thai television. I wouldn't say you can't, but unless you can't make it, example, working in the morning shift, but to go out very early in the morning, then you have no choice, okay? So why such hours, such early hours? Well, most of us probably wake up 6 or 7, but in order to attend this morning section, we have to wake up extra early. So waking extra early actually means we gain extra hours per day, awake, doing something, learning something. So actually time is so precious. So don't let it just slip by, in sleeping. And actually early in the morning is the time where our mind is still fresh, just wake up fresh. And the city, the neighborhood is still quiet, the buzz of life still not creeping. So it's the best time to absorb the Dharma. Then, why such morning and why we need to go to early hour sections? Actually, this is a sort of cultivation itself, making things happen despite obstacle. So if we say, I want to make it a vow to attend Master Life section every day, but can you persevere it? This itself, it's a cultivation. It trains you to have a stronger mind, stronger will. So I remember telling you guys about our Taiwanese brother, he has to cycle every day for about an hour to reach the destination, the center, despite the weather, the traffic, his health conditions. So I asked him once, what if it's raining, cold in the winter? If you're gonna go, aren't you gonna catch a cold? He said, no, I won't. He's so determined, so positive minded. He said he'll prepare a set of new dry clothes and you're gonna change the whole set, take it off, change everything when you reach there, otherwise you'll be freezing, in the winter, all wet through. So when I listened to this, I said, oh, this is such a perseverance, endurance, this kind of people is gonna success in life in whatever you want to make, whatever he decides, to make it happen. So in cultivations, so no matter what kind of obstacle, we are not afraid how many obstacles we face in life, as long as we are able to stand up and still keep on walking the path. This kind of people are going to reach the destination at Sunday. See? So this perseverance, endurance itself, it's a cultivation. We need to cultivate, to have a stronger will, stronger mind. Then lastly, as we all know, our master is in her 80s right now. Imagine an 80 years old, elderly person waking up early in the morning, no matter, as I say, how the weather, this weather is very cold in the winter or this stormy day, typhoon day, master still persists to wake up, to preach the Dharma to us, sitting spine straight, okay, not like me just now, this like this, spine straight, with the bright light thing shining, towards her, and the camera rolling for about an hour. She has to endure all this for the sake of our wisdom life. So are we supposed to show our appreciation, be grateful to her, by attending it? It's a sort of showing our support. I remember that Buddha told Ananda that he's going to enter into this Pana Nirvana, and Ananda just kept quiet. So he didn't ask Buddha to stay. So, and in Master case, the way we ask her to stay is show that we need her. We need her to preach the Dharma to us. We need to be there in the morning section to show that everyone is eagerly to hear her sermon. So this is a kind of support, and Master will overcome her obstacle too, her body, we hear her coughing all the time, sometimes in the sessions. So she has to overcome that in order, to give the sermon. So this is a kind of support. Don't take it for granted. As we all know, life is impermanence. Master is not gonna be with us, giving life section all the time. So please appreciate it and tell the others, our brothers and sisters, please appreciate the life section when we have it right now. Okay? Cảm ơn.
Cảm ơn Xi Sư Phụ. Thank Master Xi for the sharing. Indeed. In fact, 4:20 or 5:20 to us ordinary beings is early, but to the masters it's very late already. So I think early and late it's empty words. Okay, so thank you so much for today's sharing, and I think we'll end here today. Sister Jing, thank you.
Cảm ơn for very moving and heartening sharing today. Cảm ơn Master De Huang, Master De Qi, Brother Yo Ping, Sister Su Jing for sharing lots of life wisdom. Thank you, Pusa, for your presence today. Hope that each of us could sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of Master's and Hualian's love to our life. Let us please make 3 bows to the Buddha and Master Zhen Yan as we depart to apply this teaching in our daily lives. Let us pay our respects to our teachers of life universal truth. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. And a bow to our beloved Sifu who could join us today.